was.
It really was.
It was.
Hilarious.
She laughed. It was great. So yeah. So okay. Are we actually live yet? We are.
Hold on, double
Oh,
check.
yeah, we are. It says we are BobMortgage
Uh-oh.
live now.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep, we are.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Oh, do I need my microphone on?
Oh, yeah, Jen, can you
Yeah.
put your microphone on? That's
Brandon,
important.
come on.
Production.
Yes. Wow. Okay.
Wow, okay, what?
Oh, nothing. I was just looking at something in my feed that popped up on Spanish speaking. We are Spanish speakers. Okay. Hey, this is the 67th episode of the Bob Mortgage Jam Session. And on this jam session, I got Jennifer Johnson.
Whoop, woo!
Yep.
The Bob and Jen show back together
Party
again.
in the front, business in the back. This is going to be a great one. Now, unfortunately, Troy Olson is not able to make it today. Sick. Troy, I hope you get better. You're going to be on another episode upcoming. But guys, I promise that we're going to deliver. I don't know what I'm going to be doing in this episode, this jam session. I know Jen has it all figured out. If you were able to watch some of the pre-roll and some of this, she's just telling me what we're going to talk about. And so I'm good with that. So I'm just going to sit back, relax, let her just drive this show.
Well,
yeah, it's going to be
that's
awesome.
a little bit of insight on just how the marriage works and the business works. We just dust Bob off and set him here and tell him what to do, right, Bob?
Yeah, that's exactly how this works, as Brandon's laughing in the background. All right, so what are we talking about today? Because we have to deliver. Look, jam session goes. It's going to go. We're going to do this. We're going to make sure we bring enough value to you guys. And Troy, I do wish you very well, man. I hope you do get better because I want you back on the show here pretty quick.
Yes,
But we have a
absolutely.
commitment to bringing this thing out to you weekly. Let's talk about some good stuff. Well, what are we going to roll with right out of the gate?
All right, let's
Who's Bob Mortgage?
Who's Bob Mortgage? I think if you're watching the show, you probably already know.
Okay, good. We got that down. Educate, communicate, execute. We got it.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. All right, so you know what? I really think that we need to talk about the new loan limits. You just put a video out a couple of days ago about that.
Uh-huh.
And I think that you need to talk about that a little bit.
It's just hopefully everybody liked the video. We tried a new filter on.
Which was very cool.
We
And
did.
I
Brandon, good
always-
job on the new filter, man. I
Yeah.
liked it. So the conventional Fannie Mae Freddie Mac loan limits are changing in January 2019. So obviously upcoming in the next, whatever it is, 30 something days. They're going to go to $484,350. So $484,350. Now we're currently at $453,100. And so we did rough math. I think it was like a 6.9% increase, which is great. I mean, that's going to definitely allow more people to purchase because the jumbo financing, jumbo loans, which is anything above that right now, $453,100 or upcoming the $484,350, anything above that number just means you're in the jumbo world. And it's a little bit harder underwriting, a little bit tighter on the credit scores, a little bit tighter on the debt to income ratios. So the underwrite's a little bit harder. So now it just allows more people to get into homes. And sometimes we can also find avenues and ways to get a little bit lower interest rate on a conforming loan, a conventional loan, than we can on the jumbo. So
Is this just Texas?
no. So the loan limit will change nationally, all across the United States.
Different states have different amounts.
Well, for the most part, like the 99% of the United States is going to have the 484,350, but there's going to be things like certain areas, like in California, New York, they're going to have different loan amounts because they're considered high-priced areas. So Maryland may have a little bit different ones. So there's a map that you could go to, and I did provide that. If you're on Facebook right now, we provided a link in that video to where you could get to the map of the United States that shows you what the new loan limits are going to be. But for all of this area, Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, we're in the 484,350. 99% of the U.S. is going to be there as well.
All right.
Yeah.
Bob, you're on top of things. That's one thing I never get. That's why you do what you do, and I do what I do. We both stay in our lane. It's just like, you teach these creative financing classes. And, we send out the slides from the classes and all of that. And it's like, so many changes happen within just a few days. You're constantly having to update the information. And it's just so much information. And obviously this is a big change, but there's so many little things going on all the time that you have to stay on top of.
Right, and I think that's the big thing with selecting and choosing the right mortgage advisor.
Right.
I mean, and there's a lot of great ones out there, and I really, I really know that, and I believe that. And I've kind of been on this rant for a while, mortgage companies all have pretty much the same guidelines. That doesn't necessarily mean your mortgage advisor is the same. And it's really important that your mortgage advisor, whoever it is, that you know them, you know that they're in the details and the guidelines all the time, and you can trust that mortgage advisor's signature when they say this loan's pre-approved.
Because that pre-approval is only as good as
The signature.
mortgages. Yeah. And a lot of people don't understand that. It is, and there's a lot of different companies out there, a lot of reputable companies, but each individual.
Well, you could have the best company and the worst mortgage advisor, and you're going to have a horrible experience.
That's
so
exactly right.
It really comes down to this right here, the signature that's on that letter, and so I stay in the guidelines all the time, but it can't just be one person, and that's where the team comes in.
Right.
I mean, I have, I will put it up against anyone. I have the best team out there in the business, and they help me also stay in line with guidelines. So even this morning, I mean, we're here at 7 o'clock this morning. I'm going through different things that are changing. Marla on my team comes in. She gets here 8 o'clock in the morning usually, and we're sitting down and we're going through guidelines. Hey, what's happening here? Because I'm doing a presentation next week down in San Antonio and Austin. We can talk about that. But there are some guideline changes that are being made to programs that are down in that specific area, and I just had to make sure I'm on top of that, right?
Right.
And so that's the beautiful part of having a team. And she's like, yep, this one changed, that changed, and she's like, let's get that updated. So I try to be involved and know 100% of everything. I'm just real and know the fact that I can't know 100% of everything. And so I use my team to help me.
And I think that you realize the power of that more now than ever. I mean, you always have, but I think it just has has evolved and become such, you guys are like a unit. And everybody owns their space, and everybody, it's not you having to delegate or tell people what to, everybody just owns their space, and we operate in this amazing system.
If you have to manage, you got the wrong people.
Right.
I believe that. If you have to manage them daily, then you have the wrong people. We talk about our vision. We talk about the core values. We talk about the educate, communicate, execute. We talk about all those things daily. But it's not, are you doing your job? Did you reply to that email? They
follow up.
Did you
They
follow?
just do.
They know that it's education, it's communication, it's execution, and all those things can fall into those three categories. And then when you have great people and they buy into everything, then they just own it. So you have to be really good at setting expectations around their roles and responsibilities.
Yeah.
You have to be really good at hiring the right people and letting them take ownership. And those roles and responsibilities are what we call lanes. And then for me, it's just get out of the way. For me, then I just have to get out of the way and not meddle. Meet with them daily, talk to them daily about where we're going, what we're doing, how we're impacting people's lives, making sure that they bought into it and they're part of that. And then let them do what they do, right? And then they do it a whole lot better than I could. They do it a whole lot better than what you could. Right?
Well, thanks a lot.
Well, I'm just being
No,
honest.
no.
And you do what you do a whole lot better than what I can do it.
Right.
So
yes, agree. And I like the way you always, one of the things you said, I don't know if this is your quote or you borrowed it. I don't ever know anymore, but-
No, hey, Brandon, we always have my quotes on video, so I know I'm saying
If
it.
not, I'm hoping they're yours, right?
Yes.
So you say,
Sorry, I'm a minute late. I was listening to the show.
Oh, okay, yeah. See, while we're live, it's still a minute delayed. So Brandon's like, when we hear him laughing a minute after,
we
I
know
know.
what he's laughing
Yeah,
at.
exactly.
Okay. But you always trust first. It's like you don't believe in
Yeah.
trust is earned.
Right.
You hire the right people. You have trust in them from day one, and it's up for anyone to lose.
Right, trust is lost. It's
Which
not.
I think is a unique approach.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know if I I would probably have to look at that. I don't know if I borrowed it or it just became my own, because I mean, I truly have believed that my entire life, even growing up with my parents. I mean, how they raised me, and I didn't have, a curfew. I didn't have a lot of things around me. I just had to continue to communicate with them.
Yeah.
And the more I communicated with them, the more leeway I got. And so if I didn't communicate, then it was always lost in trust. And then that's when things changed. But I never had to do that. I always stayed in the loop. I always communicated, and I found that I was given more leash, more freedom. And so it's just part of what I've taken into the business is, look, at the end of the day, I'm hiring you because I believe you're the best person for this. And by me bringing you in and underneath the brand, that means I'm trusting you day one. So there is no earned. You got it day one. It's your job to lose it.
Yeah, I think that's awesome.
And that's been a big eye opener for me as we continue to grow and continue to build businesses and everything that we do. It really works well for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that we could parlay that into, I mean, you and I meet and talk with so many realtors, so many people that have been in the business many, many years, people that have wildly successful businesses, teams, people from really all over Texas.
Sure.
And I would say, or let me say.
I mean, now we're getting into California. I've got people in New York that are contacting me. I mean, we're expanding because of all the content we put out there. We're expanding into many different markets in other states, just to talk.
Right.
Right. To have feedback, to get into what we're doing and why we're doing it.
And I would say that it was interesting. You and I had a meeting a couple of months ago with an agent, and she was the first agent out of hundreds that we've met with. That after we gave our talk, and this is what we can do, and this is our team, and all of that, she said, "So what can I do as an agent to be a preferred partner for you guys? Like, what can I do to set myself apart from the many agents that you work with?" And I was like kind of blown away. No, doing what we do. I mean, there's quite a few people in town that do what we do, right? And so nobody has ever really approached us like that. So first of all, it was Sherry Allison, and I was completely appreciative of the question, and happily were able to answer it. And I think that the common thread of the most successful agents, teams, businesses, and our partners, realtor partners, is the fact that there is trust and there is loyalty, and it's a two-way street, and it is a true partnership, and it's like, yes, the deals are nice. It's great to do some deals and go on down the road, but we're in it for the long haul. We're in it for the partnership, because at the end of the day, I mean, you can only meet with so many people and all of that, but you really want to impact people's lives, as you say. And so that is the one thing I feel like that is a common thread of the most successful people that we work with, and that's what we look for. Because
oh my gosh, yeah.
It's like, I know that you get out of real estate school and they say, hand out three cards, and I don't know, we know that just professionally confuses the client.
I think those are just weak people that'll do that. I mean,
they just don't understand.
Look,
it takes you a little while to get in the business to know that you didn't want your client professionally confused by 3 different lenders from anywhere.
Sure. Well, they also don't understand the importance of their brand. I mean, you want to hand out 3 cards, that's going to impact your brand.
Right.
If you don't have enough trust and confidence in one person to be able to refer, then don't refer.
That's exactly right.
I would rather you not refer, because you get 3 cards. That's going to damage your brand. Absolutely, I'm 100% certain on that.
Yeah.
If you don't have one person, then don't hand out anybody.
Right.
Tell them to go look at the.
And hey, you don't have to say
Google it online.
They can use whoever they want. And be clear about that, but just make sure that they call the person that you want them to call, because if you're aligning yourself with a person that is or a team that is in partnership and in line with you, you should feel confident that lender partner is going to elevate your brand, and if they're not, they should be.
Sure. I mean, go whoever you're handing out. Go look at their Facebook, their Instagram, their YouTube, their Twitter, their LinkedIn profiles. What are they?
Their reviews.
Their reviews. What are they putting out there? Are they at the club every night? Are they Are they putting things out there that's going to damage your brand if the consumer who is out there all the time searching, if the consumer is looking at the person that you referred and they're going to look at that and say, wow, is this really the person that I want to do business with? And if they're saying that and you're the one that referred them, then how does that look to your brand?
That's right.
And so I think that our industry has changed over the 22 years that we've been in this. In the very beginning, 96, 2000, I mean, this stuff didn't exist, right? So you didn't have to really worry about that. It could be hidden, so to speak, right? And so now, I mean, everything is out there socially. We're fully exposed, and people do search, they do look, they do read reviews. They want to know what you're giving of value before they choose to do business with you. What are you doing? What are you giving? How are you educating? How are you being transparent? And so, I would encourage, in whatever industry you're in, when you're watching this, I would encourage you to look at your vendor partners and make sure that they're elevating your brands, that you're the one making the recommendation.
That's exactly right. And it's not just writing the check for whatever co-brand or whatever. It's so much more than that.
Yeah.
And another thing I feel like that is sort of missed in the community as a whole. Whether you're a mortgage guy or a realtor, whatever, is we always talk about communication. And inevitably, I'm always like, when we meet with new realtors, they've gone through, 15 different lenders that they're unhappy with. And I'm not saying that that's not valid, but I am saying that, if you're in partnership with someone, you have to meet with them on a regular basis. You have to stay engaged. That's the only way you can stay connected. And there's with buyers, and there's so many emotions and expectations and just so many moving pieces, obviously, in a mortgage and real estate transaction that can be misinterpreted or miscued. And so you have to be on the same page after every transaction and let each other know what went incredibly right. Mm-hmm. We love accolades. I'm sure, the Realtor Partners team loves accolades also. But also, if there was something that wasn't on 5-star, or there's something that was missed, or there's something that we as a partner could have done better, it's your job to let us know, because there's no way any of us can improve with silence.
Sure, silence is deadly, and you know that at the end of the day, it's not a partnership. People are going to move on.
It's not a partnership,
yeah.
And so you're going to end up meeting with the next person, bringing donuts to the office meeting or whatever.
Well, and that's why I think, when you look at our 3 pillars, educate, communicate, execute, it all falls in, whether you're talking about what we do from a consumer perspective, what we do from our partners' perspective, or what we want our partners to do with us. I mean,
right.
Really, it is a two-way.
It is two-way. And we used to didn't approach it like that. I think, it was kind of more, we do give, but I don't think we had as much of an expectation from our realtor partner mm-hmm. as we do now.
Sure. Well, I think the expectation is set properly in the fact that those are 3 things, no matter what. If we look at our thousands of meetings with agents and learning through those meetings, it does all fall into typically those 3 areas, right? Most of it all falls into communication. I could probably say out of however many thousands of meetings we've had, the majority of the reason why people leave a relationship is because of communication, right? It's because of communication.
Right.
Proactive communication even. And so it's just helping people understand, how do you proactively communicate with each other in a partnership, right? A partnership like a marriage, or partnerships, I mean, it's a big thing in business and personal. So how are you communicating with each other? And not just reactive, but proactively communicating. So we talk about that type of stuff in our business, how we use communication to help eliminate questions, to help answer the questions before they're ever asked, to basically make people feel great about the experience they're having. You can never under-communicate.
Right.
I mean, you want more and more communication that you can give, the better that you're gonna deliver that experience for that person. I mean, I just look at it. We communicate via video, we communicate via text and emails, and we communicate via phone. I mean, people are all different, and so they're going to want different touch points. So in your communication and conversation with a client, you're going to start to understand, how do they like to be communicated with. You know, I'm a be brief, be bright, be gone kind of guy, right? I'll let you know if I need some facts. I'll let you know if I want more information, but you better come in with the what it is, what we need to do, and what you need from me, and then I'll kind of give you some input as to what I need from you to be able to solve something, right? Others like the long approach. They like the long tail, the story, the fluff that goes into it. And so with our clients, with our partners, we got to understand those types of things.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, communication's big.
I think it's huge, and I think it. We address it. We talk about it every single time we meet with someone.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll in that part of the conversation with this, it's like you had, one of our realtor partners.
Mm-hmm.
She gave you the first deal that you ever did 22 years ago, and it was a VA loan.
Judy Donahoe Bench.
That's right, and she's out in Greenville, Texas, and there is no way, and we just got a referral from her the other day, and I mean, there's just no way that we could have withstood that kind of a relationship with that many deals over the different kinds of markets we've had, crazy, client scenarios.
She just likes the fact that I drive out to Greenville,
Well,
and I go to the local Mexican food restaurant or the Chinese restaurant and eat with her.
Well, she liked that,
I'm just
but you
kidding,
had
Judy.
to be, communicate with her, and she
Oh,
was
yeah.
never afraid to tell you what you needed to work on.
Oh no, my
When
gosh!
you were a
no.
little whippersnapper, or even
Yep.
today,
Mhm.
she is not afraid, and you've always done your best to honor what she's saying.
Well, I totally
and
respect it because
Absolutely.
it comes from a great place, and
Right.
that's what a relationship, a partnership's
And-
about.
and then we really
you got to
have
be
learned.
willing to accept that type of constructive criticism because you know it's coming from a good place to help you become better at what you do.
Right.
Those are important, and I do listen to them.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a real important piece for me. So
I like it.
yeah, man.
I like it.
All right. So what else are we gonna talk about?
You're driving the show, baby. I don't know. Hey, I'll tell you this. If you're out there, whether you're a realtor partner, you need to get with me on this. Get with Jen actually on this, not me. If you're a buyer, this is what you need to do. Look, you're searching with Zillow, right? This is one of the things, one of the tools that we have. We have a lead deal that we do, and we talk to people all the time, and they're like, where are you searching for a home? I'm frustrated. I search on Zillow or Realtor.com or Trulio. And guess what happens? They get frustrated for a couple of reasons. One, they can't find the home they want. The home that they found isn't available because it's already sold. And they get hounded by real estate agents calling them, mortgage people calling them.
Insurance.
Because Zillow, right? Zillow is really good at just selling data. That's all they do, guys. All they do is take your information and sell it to people like me, people like other agents, people like insurance companies. They just sell data. And that's where they make the majority of their money. And so then you get frustrated. And we have story after story after story. I can get into all these stories, but we do. And we have one in particular where the person was about to give up buying a home.
Yes.
They were done. They had been looking on Zillow. They were done. We contacted them and said, look, stop looking at homes on Zillow. It doesn't provide you all the homes. Agents don't select Zillow as a provider to showcase that home on. When they go in and they put a house into MLS, right? It goes into MLS, but they have public sites that they can also add it to, Zillow being one of them. Those public sites, not all of the homes get selected, right? Because the homeowner doesn't want their home on a public site. They just want it reserved for realtors in MLS. And the agent doesn't want the potential client's data getting sold. So they don't check the box under public sites. So that's why about 40% of those homes aren't going to be available. So we gave this person our MLS data-driven app to search for homes on. She went in and looked at, I think it was 239 properties that she said that was not available on Zillow. She favored 3 of them. I called the agent and said, hey, they just favored these 3 properties. Go talk to her. He did, wrote a contract on one of those houses, and we closed that loan, I think it was either last month or month and a half ago, right? And it's just, I mean, as a mortgage advisor, we're always coming up with creative ways and looking for ways to bring valuable information, valuable sources to our potential clients, to our partners. And I think this is one of them. It's an app for our clients to search homes.
Right.
Right?
It's
100% MLS data driven.
It is incredible technology, and
Yep.
it's part of obviously the industry's changing, and I mean it's ever changing. Every month it changes and evolves, and I
Right.
think it's up to us to research and bring these amazing pieces of technology to the forefront. And
Yep.
I think that we've done a really good job with that.
Yep. So if you want to get it, you can download it in the App Store. You go to the Apple Store, download it. It's Home Scout, HOMESCOUT. I think Home Scout.
Okay.
And then when they ask for the VIP code, just put BobMortgage.
I'm loving that you already had your VIP code ready.
Uh,
I was about to be stumbling. Wait.
You didn't know where I was going with that.
I really didn't.
Yeah, it's VIP code's BobMortgage, and that way you can have access to everything. It's MLS data, 100% MLS data. Search like a realtor, all 50 states. It's a really great way to do that. And if you're a realtor partner out there with us and you want me to provide this to you in a co-branded form, reach out to Jen and we can get you set up on a co-branded app. That way it has all your information on there for you guys to use to hand out to potential buyers. And it's a great way to keep them off of the public sites, the
Yeah.
Zillows, the Realtor.coms, and
And it's for their own benefit.
100%. 100%.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so the other day you said something. I was, watching your, your business page, and you had in the feed. You said it doesn't really matter. I can't remember the exact quote. Don't pay attention to who attends. Don't worry about it's like following the likes and how many likes you get. Like it's what matters. It doesn't matter who
sees the invitation. It's about who. Or
Yes.
No, it doesn't. It's more about who
It's not about
attends.
who attends. It's about who sees the invitation.
Brandon.
Thank you, Brandon. What was it again?
Okay. It's not about who attends. It's about who sees the invitation.
That's right.
Right. Okay. This is a live show, guys.
Right.
I have no idea where this is going.
Yeah, but it resonated with me, and we do talk about that quite a bit. So if we could elaborate on that, I think that's important.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think that a lot of times we get caught up in like how many likes do we get on a post, how many people, show up
To a class,
at an event
right?
and things like that. And I've just been of the mindset, especially in producing as much content as we do, that consistency always trumps content. And it's important to always put enough content out there. Yes, you want valuable content, but enough content out there every single day, because the right people that need to see it will be able to see it at that time. If you don't put it out, like if you just put out one piece a month or one piece a week, it's too hard. I mean, it's this social media space it's too hard with all the algorithms that are out there to get one piece in front of somebody a week when they need to see it.
Right.
And so it's your job and responsibility to continue to put things out there on a daily basis. And I think multiple times a day. If you follow me, we put out a lot of stuff every single day, because the right person that needs to see it at that moment will see it, and then they may get into your feed and see something else down the road, or something else that you posted, a week or 2 or 3 weeks before, right? But it's all about getting enough content in front of them, and then eventually they buy in and they see everything else that you're putting out there. And the ones that do attend are the ones that should be there.
Right.
I mean, we've done events where we've had, hundreds of people in attendance. Okay. But we had events where we have 4 or 5, and the impact on those 4 or 5 may have been, we may
A
look at
greater
it and put a greater
No,
impact on those
absolutely.
4 or 5 people than what it was with 200 people in a room.
And I do think early on in business, it's like, yes, I mean, obviously you want a big audience. You want your message to get to a big audience. I mean, we do mortgages for a living, and so the more people that we reach, the more chance that we have of getting someone's referral. But at the end of the day, I think that as we progressed in maturity and in business, we've realized, like you just said, like, we hope for this big attendance, you want a ton of people there, but we've had massive events and not connected with
As many, right.
And then you have, 4 people at your conference room table and have this amazing connection and engagement with all 4 of them.
Right, and we know we can go impact them, and they're going to go impact more people's lives based on that. I mean, it is. I mean, I just, that quote it was just resonated with me when I said it. It was more about just stay true to your consistency. Don't worry about, the sheer number of likes that you get, and be good with whoever shows up. I mean, if it's 3 likes, then know that those 3 people were impacted by it.
That's right.
If it's 3 people that shows up for a meeting, then know that those 3 people are the right 3 people that needed to be there at that time, and eventually, you'll impact more because of it. So yeah,
Right.
yeah,
That's good stuff, Bob.
yeah.
Hey.
Way to go. Was there any other ones that you like, or is that the only one?
Well, I love, not everybody watches video, and I am one that likes to read, and so
Yep.
I love the quotes, and I love the text, even if it's long text.
Yep.
I am a reader.
Yeah, you are.
And I know you don't like that about me, because you want me to watch all the videos.
I want you to watch every video we put out. Brandon and I work hard at putting out all this content. We're like, hey, did you see that? This is an awesome video. We talked about teens. She goes, oh, I haven't made it to that one yet. I haven't watched it. I'm like, come on. I mean, I get excited about these things.
So anyway, so what else, Bob? What else is going on? What about, another thing, some of the images that Brandon has put together,
Yep.
They are, like this one right here, super flashy and catchy, and I'm like, yeah, what's this all about? So I'll read it, But, you said the other day, sometimes a quick yes is better than a long no. And I thought, wow, I mean, you made, no, but I don't know.
No, sometimes a quick no
Yeah,
is
quick
better
no
than a long yes. I do remember that quote.
Yeah.
Sometimes a quick no is better than a long
Yes.
yes. The point behind
butchered
that
every
one,
quote
I know, and
today,
it's
by the
usually
way.
me. It's usually me. Well, and the reason why I said it that way, sometimes a quick no is better than a long yes, is because most that will want to go down that long yes path fail in their ability to proper set expectations around the process of getting to the long yes, so they're better off delivering a quick no. Okay? We always want to deliver the yes.
Yeah.
I never want to tell a customer no, right? I always tell them not now. But if we have an opportunity to provide a yes and it's going to take time, then the point behind that quote was be great, be exceptional at setting the right expectations around the process, what it's going to take to get to that yes, and how long you anticipate it's going to take to get there.
Right.
And then the constant communication along that process. And that is where most will fail. Even if they get to that long yes and they don't do all of this that I'm talking about here, the customer experience is not going to be where you want it to be. And they're going to end up still being frustrated with it, even though you came out as a hero because you delivered a yes. If you didn't have all this buttoned up, you're going to look like a zero.
Right.
And it's gonna make the agent, the partner upset. It's going to make the client not want to refer
Does
you.
more harm than good.
Right. And so you were better off just delivering the quick no.
Right.
So-
Unless you set the proper
Yeah,
expectation.
it's all about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what that one was
And I
about.
have a feeling that you learned the hard way on that one.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. I mean, that's where a lot of these 1-minute mortgage solutions come from. That's where a lot of these things come from, is just past experiences. And I think that when you look at who you're partnering with and who you choose, how many deals have they looked at? I mean, I've been responsible for providing financing over 25,000 families. I just have a lot of scenarios.
Right. And I think that
I mean, what all that does is allow me to go back in the database hey, we did this. Yes, guidelines change, but I remember this and how we put that together. Can we put square peg in round hole to make this work, right? We just did I don't want to do anything on this mortgage solution. We just did a mortgage solution this morning for a client. I mean, a laundry list of stuff. It was a pre-approved client that came into us that was denied by another lender, and a laundry list of things that were happening on the husband. And they're like, they denied the loan. And I'm like, why? Just take out the husband, flip it to conventional, and you're ready to roll. I mean, it was just like, come on, guys. I mean, take a little bit of time looking at this from a 30,000-foot view perspective and then go in it, like a boss.
Exactly.
And get it done.
Well, and let's talk about these 1-minute mortgage solutions. I mean, I think that somebody told us a long time ago, gosh, us realtors, it's hard. We're not in your world every single day dealing with all of these different deals. And, we need you to break it down for us so that we can understand how this applies instead of the guidelines and all of that. How can this apply to our client and our world? And so you came up with, the 1-minute mortgage solution, because God only knows we have thousands of different solutions where really we saved the day, where people could not have gotten into a home or figured it out.
That's exactly what it is.
Us. And so
these 1-minute, it was born from the fact that agents were needing solutions because they wanted to hear, they loved my Bob Mortgage Zone, which was talking about mortgages in general, but they wanted it broken down into a solution. And me being a be brief, be bright, be gone kind of guy, I was just like, well, if I'm going to do that, I want to deliver it quickly. I want 1 minute because I know attention spans. And if we're talking about mortgages, it's not sexy, it's not fun. So 1 minute satisfies me by being brief. A solution is the bright piece, right? And then I can exit that video. So be brief, be bright, provide what they need, a solution to a challenge, and do it quickly in 1 minute.
yeah.
And that's where that came from. And it's Brandon's happy to hear this. It's probably one of our most engaged pieces of content that we put out there because everybody has a challenge and they want to know solutions. And so we constantly work on that. We put them out, every week. We'll put out something around the 1 minute mortgage solution.
Yeah, because I think it's just amazing because, no one would ever know unless we bring those to the forefront and we highlight some of the amazing things that are happening behind closed doors. It's the world we live in every single day.
And I had somebody say, why would you want to give out your solution so other loan officers can figure it out? Like, well, one, I hope they do, but number two, it takes time to do this. It takes people around you, and it takes time to figure out solutions. This isn't that 1 minute mortgage solution. Was it something that happened in 1 minute? Mm-hmm. It could have taken 15, 20, 30 minutes and 2 or 3 people sitting down and trying to say, okay, what about option A, B, C? Let's run traps, and then let's go into it. So that's where I like, for me, I get to stay in the 30,000-foot view in the majority of my loans because I have a team that helps me execute the baseline every single day, and then when the challenges arise, because I'm not in the weeds on that one loan, I can step out of it, look and say, you know what, here's drawing from one of my past experiences, here's what I think, can y'all run some traps on it? Hey, that works, great, let's go that route, right? And so that's where a lot of these things come from. So yeah, I mean, I hope mortgage people learn from all this as well, and I hope it helps them get the business, but at the end of the day, I'm not worried about it because
you can't get hung up with that.
No, because they either will not going to take the time, they don't have the knowledge, or they don't have the team around them to even bounce things off of to get it done.
Right.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that, man.
Yeah.
Hey, and we're also, we're open to, if you can't figure it out at your current company, we'd love to talk to you, right? Because if you're a lender.
We grow in a lot of different ways, guys. So if you're an originator out there, here's some of the things that we look for. I'll bring you. I'll help you create your own brand, and you're your own loan officer, right? You could be doing $1 million, $5 million, $10 million, whatever, and you want to continue to expand and grow and utilize content. I'll help you get there, and you could be your standalone brand here within Wallach and Volk. If you're one of those loan officers that wants to grow, but wants to be part of the brand that I've already created within Bob Mortgage, we do that as well. I'll be happy to bring you in and still develop you and grow you. and help bring business, and ultimately becomes my responsibility to bring business to you, work on some of my accounts that I have, because it's all, for me, it's about making sure that we take care of those three things: education, communication, and execution. And yes, people say, well, you give up more money. I'm like, I don't really care about that part. It's about, can we take care of the client? Can we service them better by bringing somebody in and having them part of Team Bob Mortgage to do that? So whether you want to build your own, you want to come underneath the Bob Mortgage brand and work with what we've already worked hard at building. And if you are looking to move under the Wallach and Volt piece and have an office somewhere, I can definitely do that as well. So those are three things that we definitely look to do on the sell side. Now, obviously, I'm always looking for great operational people, great processing teams, great.
Always have our eyes open for talent.
It doesn't really matter, man. I mean, I wasn't even looking for a videographer, and this guy named Brandon called me, and he's such a great talent that I decided to bring him on.
He's 1 minute behind. So.
Oh, he's 1 minute behind?
Actually.
He took his headset off. No, I'm just kidding. All
right, well, good.
Is that it?
No, one other thing I want you to talk about, and then that'll be it.
Okay.
So next week you are going to Austin and San Antonio, and you're going to be teaching a couple of creative financing classes. And that's one thing. I mean, we do loans all over Texas, and some of our greatest referral partners don't even live in DFW. Used to when we would started out in the business, everybody wanted to come in. The realtors wanted to meet. The clients wanted to do a loan application, which took 2 hours. You had to do it in person. You had to manually write everything. So obviously business has evolved. And so, a good portion of our business just comes from all over the state. They just want to know that you do a good job. And so as part of, giving back, I mean, Bob has so much knowledge and experience that, he goes on the road to teach classes. And so we're going to be in San Antonio on Monday. We'll be in Austin on Tuesday. If anybody wants more information on the location and time of the event, let me know. But you're going to be teaching your creative financing class. And you think, another financing class.
Well, it's not really creative financing, baby. It's financing the next generation of home buyers. I mean, creative is just what it makes me be good at what I do. So I can get creative with the way that I'm going to structure something or put it together, how I'm going to deliver it, all that kind of stuff. But it's really about how do we finance the next generation of home buyers, because, I mean, this is not a push button get mortgage world that we live in for the 99.5% of the population. We have to look at and assess the story behind what it is that we're going to be working with and solve solutions. Every day we're solving something, and the next generation is looking for a lot of different things. I mean, they're very flexible in the way that they get paid. Their lifestyles are a lot different. Their ability to save money or have money already saved is different. I mean, there's just, how they got their money, how their parents are giving them money. And there's just so many things that we deal with on a daily basis. And I want to make sure that my realtor partners, insurance partners, financial planning partners, when they're talking to clients, that they have the ability to know that, yes, this possibly could get done. And I want to arm them with the right, knowledge, right? When you look at the iceberg, the tip above the water, I want to give them that information and know that I'm the guy with everything below the water, right?
Yeah.
The big piece of how to really put it together so that they can be educated enough to the point where they say, look, yes, I was in an event or class that went over these three things, but let me get you to my finance team. Let me get you to Bob Mortgage and let them be able to go into deep detail about how to put this together. And it works really, really well because, agents are, you guys are in these conversations all day just like I am, but a lot of times you're not armed with that tip enough to get them confident and give them hope, which is what we are there to do, and then get them over to us so that we can guide them through how that looks and how to actually accomplish that particular type of loan.
Every time you teach this class, I have agents say that is one of the best classes I've ever taken of any kind anywhere. And you think, oh, it's financing, and blah blah blah, but it's that good. You really do break it down and simplify it for them to give them the tools to actually just have the conversation.
Well, sure, and then we give them social media posts,
Oh, yeah.
right? We give them all the things that, I mean, it's great to be able to talk about financing, but then, you know, how do you go out there and market it? How do you go get clients from that? I mean, that's stuff that we work hard at delivering, social media posts, you know, analog flyers, those types of things to allow them to get it in front of potential clients.
That's right.
Yeah, so we'll be down there Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah,
Brandon's gonna be fun. I'll be in California this weekend, and I don't fly back until late Sunday night, and I couldn't get a flight out for us Monday morning because we just booked this like last 3 days. We got asked to do all this stuff. So there's no flight to get out there, so we're gonna drive, and it's like we have to leave at like 5:15 in the morning, and Brandon's really excited.
Yeah, I know. I can see it on his face.
Yeah. The only
gonna be good
question he has, are you getting Whataburger?
Right.
for the drive down.
Priorities, man.
Hey guys, I really appreciate you. At least, you know, Troy, I hope you are feeling better, buddy. And I promise you'll be back on this thing here pretty quick. But hope you enjoyed a little bit of the rant and the conversation that Jennifer and I had. Hopefully you found a little bit of value in this. Just know that at the end of the day, there is a team here at Team Bob Mortgage. That's when you buy into Bob Mortgage, you're buying into Team Bob Mortgage. Jennifer obviously is probably the biggest part of that because of what she's able to provide you guys as partners, realtor partners, making sure that we're doing what we need to do to impact your life. I become that next part of the business, which is just ensuring that we're able to execute, communicate, and educate that, but it's all wrapped up in a nice bow with the team. I mean, it's everybody, even to Brandon out there on the videos, because he helps me put all those things together to communicate it to you, so that we can continue to produce great content so that you guys can share it. Hopefully, if you're a consumer out there watching, you're actually learning some things from us that help you understand how easy it is to buy a home and the importance of owning versus renting. So you guys have an awesome Wednesday. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, all that stuff. Just search Bob Mortgage. You'll see all the great content.
Yeah, man.
Good job, Ben.
Woo!
All right, peace out.
Thanks,
See ya.
guys.